I'm the Rules Girl, and this is Godspeed, a competitive planet exploration building game for 2 to 5 players. In Godspeed, players compete to gain prestige and power by negotiating with one another and distributing their team members wisely. You win by having the most points at the end of the game, earned by gaining prestige, reaching milestones, and completing objectives. Godspeed is played over 10 rounds, with 4 phases in each round. Each round consists of negotiating an agreement for a new order from the High Council, followed by bidding for resources and special abilities. And finally, taking actions and completing developments for prestige. In the High Council phase, players negotiate over a new challenge revealed by the High Council deck. The first player reveals the top card of the High Council deck. All players discuss and decide whether they'll participate in the event by placing their matching team members here. Players that ignore the event receive the card's penalty, but if all players respond, all players gain the card's bonus. In the Supply Depot phase, players bid on cargo shipments from Earth. First, place the first player token here. Then, reveal 1 supply card per player from the Supply Depot deck, placing them here. Next, each player secretly bids to determine the order players will take the supply cards. To participate in the auction, you must bid at least 1 team member. Credits and rovers add 1 each to your bid, but your team members add their influence value. After all players have chosen their bid, reveal them simultaneously. Rank players in order of highest to lowest value bids, with ties broken in clockwise order, starting with the player who has the auction tiebreaker marker. Then, in order of highest to lowest bidder, each player claims either the first player token or a supply card. After all players have gone, the highest bidder may take 1 more shipment. Finally, discard all resources used for the bid and move your spent team members to the supply area. Now, take the supplies shown on your card, or if it's a relic plan or a victory point card, place it next to your board. It's now time for the action phase. Each player may take up to 2 actions, 1 at a time, starting with the first player and going clockwise. To take an action, place one of your team members into an empty action space that matches that team member's specialty, and take the action. Each action space describes what effect takes place when you resolve it. Some actions allow you to gain resources, build production buildings, or draw development cards. These action spaces allow you to draw or complete development cards. To complete a development card, place the matching team member in the action space, play the development card, pay its listed cost and resources, then gain these resources and prestige points by moving your marker up the matching track. If at any point you complete one of these milestones, take the sculpture and place it next to your board. Also, if you complete the requirements on the current lunar season scoring card, place one of your flag markers onto it. After all players have taken 1 action, each player will have the opportunity to take a second round of actions. After all players have taken both of their actions or passed, it's time to set up for the next round. Earn any relic or resolution bonuses from completed relics or infrastructure developments. Next, each of your production buildings produces its matching resource. Then, take back all 5 of your team members and remove used assistants from the game. Move the round marker to the next round and start the next round. The game continues until the end of the 10th round. It's now time to score. Each prestige track awards 8 victory points to the highest player, 4 victory points to the second player, and 2 victory points to the third player. Lose 1 or 2 points for each prestige track where you're below the start marker. Next, earn 4 points for each milestone you completed, 3 points for each lunar season scoring card you placed a flag on, 1 point for each inactive alien power, and 1 point for every 10 leftover resources. Finally, earn any points from artifacts, special objective cards, or the Scepter of the Ancients. Add your points together, and the player with the most points wins the game. Ready to play? Place the game board in the center of the table. Sort the lunar season cards into seasons, and randomly select 1 from each, placing them here. Place the round marker on the 1 space on the board. Shuffle the 4 development decks and place them onto these locations. Sort the 5 resource types and place them nearby, along with the relic power tiles. Separate the High Council cards into 5 stacks and shuffle them, dealing 2 cards from each into a deck, shuffling it, and placing it here. Separate the supply cards, using only cards for your player count. Then separate them into 4 stacks of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd seasons of lunar cards and relic power cards. Shuffle each stack separately, then create the deck, starting with the 3rd lunar season stack, then the relic power stack, followed by the 2nd and 1st lunar season stacks. Each player chooses 1 nation and takes its matching nation board, 5 production buildings, 5 team members, 4 prestige markers, and 4 flag tokens. Each player places 1 prestige marker on each start space of the prestige tracks. Shuffle the initial objective cards and deal 1 to each player. Choose 1 cargo hold fewer than the number of players. Then shuffle the cargo hold card with the tiebreaker marker into the starting supply cards. Then deal 1 to each player. Each player reveals their cargo hold card and takes its starting resources. The player to win in a leg wrestling tournament chooses the starting player. You're now ready to play! Godspeed is live on Kickstarter. Check the link in the description for more information. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking it and subscribing to The Rules Girl for more rules videos.